Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today, we're diving into something sweet and sticky, the process of how honey is made in a factory. From the buzzing bees to the jar in your kitchen cabinet, let's take a step-by-step look at how honey goes from hive to bottle in an industrial setting. You'll be amazed at how nature and technology come together to create this golden goodness. It all starts in nature, where honeybees collect nectar from flowers. After visiting thousands of flowers, the bees store the nectar in their hives. But how does that get to the factory? Beekeepers play an important role in this step. Beekeepers collect the honey-laden frames from their hives, using protective gear to avoid stings and carefully removing the combs filled with honey. These honeycomb frames are then taken to the honey processing factory, where modern technology takes over. Once the honeycomb frames arrive at the factory, the first step is to extract the honey from the combs. This is done using a process called uncapping and extracting. In the uncapping machine, the wax seals, called caps, that bees create to cover the honey are carefully removed. These wax caps are collected and can even be reused to make beeswax products. Once the honeycomb is uncapped, it's ready for the next step. The frames are placed inside a large centrifuge-like machine called an extractor. This machine spins the frames at high speed, causing the honey to fly out from the combs through centrifugal force. The honey is then collected at the bottom of the extractor. Once the honey is extracted, it's time to filter it. Raw honey contains small particles like beeswax, pollen, and sometimes even pieces of the comb. To make sure the honey is smooth and clean, it passes through multiple filtration stages. The honey flows through fine mesh filters that remove impurities. This process ensures that the honey is crystal clear without losing any of its natural nutrients or flavor. Some factories use a heat treatment process at this stage to make the honey easier to filter, though high temperatures are avoided to maintain the honey's nutritional value. Now that the honey is pure and ready, it's time for packaging. Modern honey factories use advanced bottling machines to package honey quickly and efficiently. These machines fill bottles, jars, and even honey sticks in precise quantity. The honey is poured into sterile jars, sealed, labeled, and ready to be shipped to stores. Factories ensure that the entire process, from extraction to bottling, follows strict hygiene standards, so the honey remains safe and high quality for consumers. Before any honey leaves the factory, it undergoes rigorous quality control testing. Samples of honey are tested for purity, moisture content, and consistency. Some factories even test for traces of pesticides or chemicals to ensure that the honey is organic and free from contaminants. Only honey that passes these strict tests is approved for sale. This ensures that every jar of honey that reaches your kitchen is of the highest quality. Did you know that honey can vary depending on the type of flowers the bees collect nectar from? Different flower sources produce different flavors, colors, and textures of honey. For example, clover honey is mild and light, while buckwheat honey is dark and rich. Honey also never spoils. Archaeologists have even found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are still safe to eat after thousands of years. Talk about nature's preservative. And there you have it. From the busy bees in the field to the high-tech bottling lines, the journey of honey is a fascinating blend of nature and technology. Next time you drizzle some honey on your toast, you'll know just how much work went into making that little jar of sweetness. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the honey making process, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more behind the scenes looks at how your favorite foods are made. Have a sweet day and we'll see you in the next video.
Hey donut lovers! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking you behind the scenes at a donut factory to see how those delicious, fluffy treats are made in large quantities. From mixing the dough to glazing and packaging, we're going to show you the entire process from start to finish. Get ready for a sweet adventure. Every great donut starts with the dough, and in a factory setting, the process begins with large industrial mixers. The basic ingredients, flour, sugar, water, milk, eggs, yeast, and butter, are all combined in exact proportions. Factories use precision to ensure consistency. The mixers churn out massive batches of dough, ensuring that each donut has the perfect light and fluffy texture. This is done on a much larger scale than what you'd find in a small bakery. After mixing, the dough is left to rest and rise. This is where the yeast gets to work, causing the dough to expand and become airy. This process is key to getting that soft, pillowy texture in the final product. Once the dough has risen, it's time to shape the doughnuts. In a factory, this is done with high-speed machinery. Rollers flatten the dough, and cutters punch out perfect donut rings. And let's not forget about the donut holes. Those small round pieces are separated and often fried on their own to make delicious mini donuts or donut holes. After cutting, the donuts are lined up on conveyor belts, ready to be fried. But before that, they need to rise again to get even fluffier. Next up, the frying. This is where the magic happens. The donuts are gently lowered into a fryer filled with hot oil, usually heated to about 190 degrees Celsius, 375 degrees Fahrenheit. They fry for just a couple of minutes on each side, turning a golden brown. The donuts puff. Up beautifully as they fry, getting that signature golden crust on the outside while staying soft and airy on the inside. Timing is everything here to make sure the donuts are cooked perfectly without getting greasy. The machinery even flips the donuts to make sure both sides are evenly fried. Once done, they're lifted out of the oil and onto a cooling rack to let any excess oil drip off. Now, for everyone's favorite part, glazing. The donuts are still warm as they pass under a waterfall of sugary glaze, coating them in a delicious, shiny layer of sweetness. This step happens quickly but evenly, thanks to the precise machinery. Each donut is coated with just the right amount of glaze, creating that perfect balance of sweet and fluffy. But not all donuts are glazed. Some donuts go on to be dipped in chocolate, vanilla, or other flavored icings. Then there's the fun part, adding sprinkles, nuts, or even cookie crumbles. Factories use various machines to make sure each donut gets a perfect and uniform topping. Toppings like sprinkles, are added automatically as the donuts roll along the conveyor belt, creating a rainbow of deliciousness that's impossible to resist. But what about those delicious filled donuts? Factories use special machines to inject cream, custard, jelly, or other fillings into the center of each donut. These machines are designed to fill each donut with just the right amount of filling, ensuring every bite is as satisfying as the last. Whether it's a rich chocolate cream or a fruity jam, these filled donuts are a favorite for many. Filled donuts are then lined up and prepared for packaging, just like their ring-shaped counterparts. Once the donuts are glazed, topped, or filled, it's time to get them packaged and ready for stores. In a factory, this is done at high speed with machines that carefully place each donut into trays or boxes. Packaging machines seal the donuts in airtight containers to keep them fresh for as long as possible. Some donuts are packed for immediate shipping, while others may be frozen for transport to farther locations. Once packaged, the donuts are ready to be shipped to stores, cafes, and restaurants around the world. Factories ensure that the entire process is done under strict quality control, so every donut that reaches you is as fresh and delicious as it should be. Of quality control, every batch of donuts goes through rigorous testing to ensure consistency. Samples are taken to test the texture, flavor, and appearance of the donuts. And yes, there are taste testers in donut factories. Trained professionals sample the donuts to make sure the flavor is spot on before they're sent to store. So, the next time you bite into a delicious donut, you'll know the hard work and precision that went into making that sweet treat. From mixing the dough to frying, glazing, and packaging, donut factories have perfected the art of making these beloved snacks. joining us on this tour of a donut factory. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes looks at how your favorite foods are made. And let us know in the comments, what's your favorite type of donut? See you next time.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're taking you inside one of the most unique industries in the world, camel meat processing. Camel meat has been consumed for centuries in many cultures, and modern factories now produce it efficiently while maintaining height safety and quality standards. From the arrival of camels at the facility to the final packaged product, we're going to show you every step of how camel meat is processed in a modern factory. Let's get started. The journey begins when camels are carefully transported to the meat processing facility. Camel farming and meat production are prevalent in regions like the Middle East and parts of Africa, where camels are not only important for transportation but also a valuable source of protein. Upon arrival, the camels are kept in well-maintained holding pens where they are given water and allowed to rest. The facility ensures that the animals are treated humanely and that they are healthy before processing begins. Veterinarians conduct health checks to ensure the camels are fit for consumption. Once the camels are checked for health and quality, the processing begins with stunning. To ensure a humane process, modern facilities use electrical or mechanical stunning methods which render the animals unconscious before slaughtering. The camels are then slaughtered according to strict halal guidelines, as camel meat is often consumed in regions with specific religious requirements. The process is done in a way that meets both ethical and religious standards, ensuring that the meat remains pure and safe for consumption. After slaughtering, the blood is drained from the animal as part of the halal process. This step is crucial for ensuring the meat remains fresh and free of any contaminants. Once the camel has been slaughtered, it's time for the skinning and butchering process. Modern factories use advanced skinning machines that carefully remove the hide, which can also be used for leather products. After skinning, the carcass is divided into different sections by skilled butchers. Each part of the camel has different uses, from steaks and roast to ground meat and specialty cuts. The large size of camels means this process is done with precision and the meat is separated into different grades based on quality. After butchering, the next step is deboning. In a modern camel meat processing factory, this is done with the help of automated machines that quickly and efficiently remove bones from the meat, leaving only the best cuts. While machines handle the bulk of the deboning, skilled workers step in to ensure each piece is trimmed and cut to perfection. These cuts are then sorted based on their size and quality. Some cuts of camel meat are sold as steaks, ribs, or roasts, while others are ground into mince or used for sausages. Each type of cut is carefully prepared to meet the demand for different types of camel meat products around the world. Once the meat is cut, it goes through a thorough cleaning process. This step ensures that the meat is free from any contaminants or bone fragments, and it also helps to maintain a high standard of hygiene. Throughout the factory, quality control is a key part of camel meat processing. Every piece of meat is inspected for any signs of imperfections or contamination. Modern factories use metal detectors and other high-tech scanners to ensure that no foreign materials end up in the final product. One of the most popular products made from camel meat is ground meat, which can be used in a variety of dishes like kebabs, burgers, and more. The meat is ground using specialized machines that ensure consistency in texture. Many factories also produce camel sausages. The ground meat is seasoned with spices and herbs before being stuffed into casings. This process is fully automated, allowing the factory to produce large quantities of sausages that are packed and shipped around the world. Once the meat has been processed and inspected, it's time for packaging. Modern factories use vacuum sealing technology to pack the meat, ensuring it stays fresh for longer periods. Packages are labeled with all the necessary information, including the cut, weight, and expiration date. For export markets, the packaging also includes halal certification labels and other quality assurance seals to meet international standards. Finally, the packaged meat is boxed up and loaded onto refrigerated trucks, ready to be shipped to supermarkets, restaurants, and butcher shops across the globe. Throughout the entire process, quality control is maintained at every step. Samples of the meat are regularly tested for bacteria, moisture content, and overall quality. This ensures that the meat is not only safe to eat, but also meets the high standards consumers expect. The lab tests help ensure that the factory complies with international food safety standards and that each batch of meat is free from any harmful substances. Only after passing these tests is the meat approved for sale. Camel meat has become increasingly popular in global markets, especially in regions like the Middle East, Africa, and even parts of Europe and Asia. It's valued for its high protein content and unique flavor, making it a versatile ingredient for chefs and home cooks alike. Whether it's grilled, roasted, or turned into sausages and kebabs, camel meat is a nutritious and flavorful alternative to more common meats like beef or lamb. And thanks to modern processing facilities, camel meat is now available in more places than ever before, from the farm to the factory. Camel meat processing is a fascinating blend of traditional practices and cutting-edge technology. Every step is designed to ensure quality, safety, and efficiency, so that you can enjoy camel meat at its best. Thanks for joining us on this tour of a modern camel meat processing factory. We hope you learned something new today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes looks at how food is made. Let us know in the comments if you have ever tried camel meat and what your favorite dish is. See you in the next video.